Once you have your first piece of molding tacked into place, bring your side return molding up against it, and as you can see, here I've got a gap. It's tight at the back, or the heel of the miter, and open at the toe. To figure out exactly what I have to take off of that, the easiest thing to do is scribe the miter. I insert a steel rule and press it tight against the miter on the front molding. Then take the side molding and bring it up into place so it just touches the steel rule. Using a pencil and the steel rule as a bearing surface, I scribe or draw a line parallel to my ruler along the side molding, giving me the exact angle at which I need to cut my side molding. To begin cutting your miters, set your miter box or your saw to 45 degrees in one direction or the other. We're not going to swing it back and forth. We set one angle and cut both sides of each miter off of that one side. Make your first cut with the molding upside down, and because I'm using a slider on my miter saw, I extend it out, start it up, and then push the cut into the molding, and that way it tears out along the bottom of the piece of molding rather than across the face that you'll see. Your second cut is with the face of the molding up, or the profile up, and that allows you to cut it with the tear out at the back, and again you're preserving that profile. If you need to make minor adjustments, on this one we would need to take a little bit off the heel. The easiest way to do that is with some folded 400 grit sandpaper, and if I need to take some off of the heel, I put the sandpaper between the back of my molding and the fence, and then press tight against the fence to the left of my sandpaper. And you'll see what that'll do is it'll cut more at the back than at the front, so more off the heel than the toe. If I need to, I can increase that by sliding the sandpaper to my left, and it increases the space behind the molding, thereby increasing the angle that I'm cutting this. If I need to take some off the toe, I start with the sandpaper out towards the left of my cut, and I put the pressure between the sandpaper and the cut, and you'll see what it did is it just literally seesawed it around, and now I'm going to take more off the toe than off the heel. To increase that, if you need to take a little more, move the sandpaper in and keep the pressure between the sandpaper. You can see the increased distance here means I'm going to take even more off the toe and less off the heel. If my cut is at a square vertically, I can modify that by putting the sandpaper underneath of my molding and pressing down to the left of it. And that means I will cut more off the bottom of my cut than off the top. And I don't mean the toe and the heel, I mean in this plane. To increase that, I slide the sandpaper to my left and keep the pressure to the left of the sandpaper, and you'll notice that this space has increased. So I'm going to get an even more dramatic cut at the bottom than I am at the top. If it's long at the top and short on the bottom, then what I need to do is reverse that. So I keep my sandpaper to the left and put the pressure in between the sandpaper and the cut, and now I've tilted it the other way, and you'll get more off the top than off the bottom. To increase that, we slide the sandpaper closer to the cut and keep that pressure between the sandpaper and the cut to cut even more off the top of the miter. Notice how dramatically the gap is increased on this side